So Cameron Dicker is going to knock down this 35-yarder. It's a 13-point game, but unfortunately the Dolphins would come back and take the lead. And how this happens is a miscommunication in the secondary. You have two Charger defensive backs that are going to go up to the flat, and they're going to leave Waller wide open, who just gets that back corner, finds the soft spot. This is a horrible look for the Chargers. I mean, embarrassing. This cannot happen, but Nyheim Hines is here to save the day. He's going to get this return all the way over the 40. Do not let this play be forgotten because it probably is. Everyone's going to be talking about the Herbert play. But Hines, I mean, it just gave me a good feeling to where I felt like the Chargers were going to win this game. But this next play is one of the best you'll see out of Justin Herbert, really out of any quarterback to ever play this game. Jalen Phillips is going to wrap him up. This is a sack for probably every quarterback in football, maybe besides Josh Allen. I mean, dude, this has to be a sack. Phillips is a sack machine, and Herbert just shrugs him off, keeps his eyes on the field, hits Ladd McConkey, who makes the defender miss. He's going to get all the way into Miami territory. They get it on the hash for Dicker, and he knocks this down. He's never missed a kick inside of 40. Cameron Dicker is probably the best kicker as of right now in NFL history in the sense of his numbers and where he's at in his career. Dicker is just automatic. I mean, he's a weapon. Like, if the Chargers end up making a run at the AFC, we're going to look at Cameron Dicker and be like, he's just as much of a weapon as like anyone else on this team, even Herbert. You get him into even within 60, you just know he's going to make that kick. It's a thing of beauty. He knocked down, what was it, guys, 4 or 5 kicks? Let me know down below. I honestly don't remember exactly. He made a 58, but they ended up, there was a leverage call or whatever early on in the game, and then the Chargers just got a little closer and kicked one. But still, I mean, it was just awesome. It was freaking awesome. The Chargers, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I was a little bit concerned. They gave up a 13-point lead, but when it was said and done, they won this game, and I'm fired up, man. Let's go. I definitely have to show a lot of love to Ladd McConkey. He's been kind of quiet this season, but 7 for 100 and a touchdown on 9 targets against this Dolphins secondary. He looked awesome. Oronde Gadsden, 7 for 68, did have that fumble early on, but he stepped up. The Chargers trusted him. He's clearly the most talented tight end in this group. I like Will Disley. He had a nice 14-yard catch. Probably a better blocker. He's probably the most, I'd say, versatile tight end that this team has. But Gadsden, he's just a pure receiving tight end. And that's what this team has needed for years with Justin Herbert. I thought he stepped up and had a good game. Keenan Allen arguably saved the game because if it wasn't for him breaking up that pass that Herbert threw, it would have been intercepted, and the Chargers don't win this game more than likely. That was big. Trey Harris had 4 catches. Good to see the second-round rookie get some work. But truly, the story of this game wasn't Justin Herbert. It wasn't Cameron Dicker. It was Kamani Vidal. I've given him a lot of crap. Coming into the season, I said that I didn't think he was that great, and I honestly didn't even want him to make the roster. And, of course, at the time, Najee Harris and Amari Hampton were healthy. But clearly I was wrong, and I could have just not said anything and no one would have remembered, I bet. But I want to call myself out because I got that completely wrong. And I get it's one game against the Dolphins, but still, he looked explosive. He looked dynamic. I mean, 18 for 124. You don't have that type of game unless you've got a lot of juice. And without him, the Chargers do not win this one, not even close. 3 for 14 and a touchdown, also out of the backfield receiving. Good job, man. Awesome. I can't wait to look at his tape. We're going to do a breakdown on him tomorrow. Don't get me wrong here. The tape doesn't come out until the next day. So I'm going to make a whole video on that, but I just had to give him love as well. Defensively, I think Derwin James kind of said it best. I'm paraphrasing. He said the defense played well, but had a kind of a couple of missed judgments and assignments and things like that. And clearly, he's not wrong. There's a couple of blown coverages, and Adafe Owe had a sack, but he got a paw on a ball, but ended up going to Waddle anyway. So it's just that's not really his fault. He did his best, but there's a couple of things that just didn't really go the Chargers' way, and it almost cost them this game. Devon Achane ended up rushing for 128 yards. It almost felt like he rushed for way more than that. He looked absolutely possessed in this game. 16 for 128 and 2 touchdowns. As a receiver, 22 yards on 4 receptions. He was just a problem. If Tyreek Hill had played in this game, the Dolphins should be better than they are. I mean, they've got Achane, Waddle, and Rika. That's just absurd. I don't know how they haven't been winning more games. I mean, I do know how. I mean, obviously, the defense has to be better, and then Mike McDaniel as well. Some guys I think are just better offensive coordinators than head coaches, and we're kind of seeing that with Miami's. Tua also, he had 3 interceptions in this game. Wait, why am I blinking on the third one? So he had the one right away when this game started. He had another one that was jumped by St. Juice. Was I not paying attention? What the hell is wrong with me? I can't remember the third one. Oh, it must have been with 5 seconds left. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I turned off the game with five after Dicker made that kick. I turned off the game. I was just so excited, like running around. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and it's on me. I guess I got to finish off the game here to the final whistle. You never know. I mean, the Dolphins could have done something crazy. I remember, well, actually, I was watching it live, and I remember I saw I was just so excited. Derwin made a play or something like that. But no, overall, the Chargers they had to win this game 4-2. The Broncos also won, and they're 4-2. Now, obviously, the Chargers have the tiebreaker because they beat Denver, but you don't want to be dropping games against the Dolphins, and like they already dropped one against the Giants. The Commanders are really good, so like I mean that was a pretty sad game. I didn't even make a video after that. But yeah, there wasn't really much of a reason to lose to the Giants. I mean, I get you're down to basically your third string lineman, but it's like you got to find ways to win these games, man. It all matters at the end of the season. And I don't really care what anyone says. The Chargers have a better chance of making a run if they're at home versus if they have to go to Orchard Park in Buffalo. If they have to go to, I think they're going to finish better than the Chiefs at this point. Even if they have to go to Indy, like it's just having at your home is going to be huge. I think Charger fans are going to show out. Regular season's one thing, but in the playoffs, I mean, Charger fans are going to be as passionate as anyone. I love Charger fans, man. This was the first team channel I made, I want to say, back in 2020. 5 years ago, I made this channel. I love Justin Herbert. And it started off with just loving Justin Herbert, but then it became much more, and now I'm legitimately a Charger fan, which is freaking awesome. The first team hat that I ever got was the Chargers. It's literally right in front of me. Been wearing it a lot, actually, so shout out to you guys, man, for all the support. It means a lot. I see that the Colts is up next. That's going to be interesting. I didn't know the Chargers and the Colts played next week. I knew they played, of course, but that's going to be fun. It's going to be a test for the Chargers as well because the Colts are 5-1. They look like a legit AFC contender. And with the Chargers actually doing a lot of good things in this game, I think they can build off of it and be ready for the Colts. But obviously, that's a much different team, a much more difficult team than the Dolphins. But the Dolphins played better than I thought. Like, if Tua hadn't had those turnovers, they probably win. But typical Tua fashion, turning the ball over. Tua was good when he got rid of it quickly. When he held on to it, he just got worse. That's kind of how he's been. When he holds on to the ball, he's just a significantly worse quarterback. Usually, guys are worse when they do that. So it makes sense. It lines up. Waddle had an amazing game. That 45-year, he had that juggling catch, stayed in bounds. It was crazy. Like he turned to his was it his right, and then he had to turn to his left, and it was amazing, man. If you guys saw it, you saw it. But overall, this was just one of those games where the Chargers found a way to win, and you just know that things are going your way when, of course, you give up that late touchdown, but you still feel good about your chances because all Herbert had to do was get into Cameron Dicker's range, and because, again, he's such a lethal weapon, it's not very difficult. Like, once you get to midfield, he has a legit chance at that, but with the big return and then Lad McConkey and Herbert connecting on that insane play, things just went our way, man. It was like Burger King. I'm just excited, man. I don't know. I don't really have much else to say. I'm still processing this win. The coffee's kind of hitting. I just had coffee. Some caffeine hitting me right now. So I'm just like feeling a little jittery, fired up even more. I can't wait to break down the film tomorrow. I'm going to have probably multiple videos coming out, so stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you so much for the support, Thunder Alley, man. It really means the world to me.